Everyone is mentioning play-based learning, but is it really effective? How easy is it to implement into your daily routine? And can it really boost your child's brain development? If you want answers to all these questions, join me today for the interview with Valerie. We're talking about play-based learning and how it can help you to raise kids who love to learn. Today, I would like to introduce Valerie. She's blogging at outsidethetoybox.com, and she's an expert at helping parents with early development and play-based learning. Welcome, Valerie.
Hi, thank you.
We're very happy to have you here. And as we get started, please tell us something about you that most people don't know.
Well, most people don't know that my mom is Ecuadorian, so I'm half Ecuadorian.
Oh, wow.
I look a lot more like my dad, and I'm not fluent, unfortunately, in Spanish. I know a few things, and I can get around with Spanish, but she stopped talking to us in Spanish when we were little because, you know, my dad spoke English, and my sister, she started late with my sister, and she just was like, no Spanish. So unfortunately, she didn't talk with us in Spanish, so we didn't become bilingual completely.
But still, you have that heritage and you have that background. And
Yeah.
have you guys been visiting our homeland?
Yeah, we have. When we were little, we went frequently, and then the last time was probably 5 or 6 years ago though now, but it's a beautiful country and it's such a rich culture over there. So it's really fun to visit.
Okay, and I'm sure you're also looking forward to sharing it with your kids when they're a little bit older.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to take them and meet all their cousins.
Is there something that's keeping you up at night?
Probably self-doubt. Recently, my 2-month-old, he got a tongue tie revision, and from stories I've read, it just was like an immediate fix, and you know, it solved a lot of problems right away, and that just wasn't the case for us. And so I just kind of started doubting, you know, did I make the right decision? Am I doing what's best for him and for my kids? And just, that's just one example, but a lot of times I just doubt, you know, am I doing the best that I can and, you know, making the right decisions? So, yeah.
I think as parents, we can all relate to that. Hey, we all get to a point where we doubt what we're doing. We're feeling guilty. We're not feeling confident. But I also think we need to reach a point where we truly believe that we're doing our best. You know, we make the right or the best decision in any given circumstance. And that's all we can do, you know, just do our best.
Yeah.
But it is sometimes difficult. All right. So, Valerie, what is the one thing that most parents have to face at some point in their lives that you can help them with?
Well, at some point they're going to be toddlers, and they're busy, and you know, they don't have a long attention span. So keeping them busy, and, you know, when you keep them busy, you want to be able to like keep your whole family and house intact. So you need to get your stuff done. You need, you know, some peace of mind and some me time, but you also want to get them to learn something and have fun. So that's kind of what Outside the Toy Box is all about, is just creative ways to play, not complicated. It's really simple, and you know, it gives you so many ideas. You don't have to use everything, and you definitely don't have to do multiple things in a day. Sometimes we just, you know, do free play the whole day, you know, but there are activities to help you kind of break up the monotony and break up the day and fill the time with little ones.
Okay, and I know on your blog you talk a lot about play-based learning. If a new mom comes to you and she says, but she doesn't understand, do I have to just play with them, or do they necessarily have to learn something from that activity? What would your response be?
I think I think it's a balance with play-based learning. There is an element of they're just learning through what you've offered them through that natural play. But there's also ways that you can interact with them, or ways that you can set up an activity and be intentional about the materials that you set out, so that play can happen naturally through those materials and those interactions. So maybe it's a question that you ask, or maybe it's the materials set up in a certain way to kind of provoke a thinking of what would happen if this, or just using. So I kind of take my background in early childhood education, and what is, you know, a milestone, or what they've learned, or what they are learning in those stages of development. And so I set up activities to nurture that. So, and just by observation too, what are they into? What do they, you want to watch their free play, and what do they continually seek to do? And then take that and develop it into an activity, or develop it into a provocation with interactions. So
I think one of the good things with this whole pandemic happening and our kids being home more than ever, it's not just the little ones that we get a chance to play with. We also have ample opportunity to think up ideas and activities that we can do with our bigger kids. And it's amazing how well they respond to that. The extra time with us and just doing things and learning from us. I think it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's one of the big benefits, for sure.
We must just stop seeing it as a challenge and make use of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So Valerie, what would your 3 best tips be to parents to help them with play-based learning?
I think it's kind of a process, and I think it's different at home than it is in a classroom. I think the first thing that you're probably going to want to do is to develop their independent play capacity. So I have a post about some simple tips of how to increase their independent play. And that can be all the way from babies to big kids. And basically, once they can play by themselves, then you can set up these activities, but you can also just watch them play naturally and see and observe what they could be learning, how you can extend it, and how you can take those ideas to incorporate the learning within. But being able to play by themselves is a really important skill. So that, and then one of the big pieces of independent play and of keeping things fresh and learning and is a toy rotation. So we do toy rotation at home. Not everyone does, but I think it's a valuable tool to keep them engaged in their experiences. But it also allows you to put out materials that are intentional and can be geared towards whatever they're learning at the time. So if you're focusing on, and this could be even for bigger kids too, you know, they lose interest in their toys or in the materials they have, put it away and then take out some new things, or you're working on a different skill. Okay, we're working on this math concept, then these toys can come out. Or what I sometimes do is just put out 1 or 2 of the material and see if there is interest. And then if there is, then you can pull out more of those and build on it, on their ideas. So taking those ideas and building it through that toy rotation. I also have a post on how to start that if you're interested and haven't started that. And then just simple play ideas. I think that if we overcomplicate things, especially for the early years, you know, babies, toddlers, preschoolers, they like the easy things. I mean, there's, you know, everyone always says like, I got them this fancy toy and all they want to play with is the box. Well, that's because sometimes it's the simple things that it's just a new way of thinking about the simple things that you have already in your house. You don't need like this super expensive wooden toys and to create those learning experiences. It's really more about how you think about what you have and how you use it, and the questions that you can ask within those activities. So
I think those are some brilliant tips, and I love the toy rotation one. I mean, it's also going to help with all the clutter, because our kids' rooms are so full of things they haven't seen for years anyway, because it's at the back of the cupboard. So just rotating these things and exposing them to new ideas, I think that's a brilliant idea. Valerie, if the audience love what you're saying and they want to learn more from you, as I know they will, where can they find you?
So you can find me on outsidethetoybox.com. There is tons of play and parenting. If you subscribe to the newsletter there, you'll get 100 loose part play idea or materials that you can use, a list of that. That's been a popular post, loose parts play. And you can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest.
Of course, it's where all the mommies are.
Yeah.
So, Valerie, I know your kids are small and you're not helping them learn yet in terms of school and homework, but are there any struggles that you have when sitting down trying to teach them something?
Definitely. My biggest struggle right now, I have, a 2-month-old and a 19-month-old. So balancing, I'm learning the balance right now of how to, it was so much easier when it was just Ruby and she, we sat down and had these activities and I was able to plan and, and just spend lots of one-on-one time with her. And now it's like, I have to be more organized. I have to figure out how can I do both? How can I do both? So yeah, it's balancing the two.
And I think as soon as you figure that out, you can, share that with your audience, which is great, because if you're struggling with that, everyone else there, is as well. So Valerie, then for the big question for today, are you a good mom or a good enough mom?
That is a tough question. I think that it's both. I think that it depends on the moment. Sometimes I feel like I'm rocking this out. I am a good mom right now. And then other times I'm like, okay, you had French fries for dinner. That's good enough. And, it just depends on the day and how I'm in the motivation, how much sleep I got the previous night. To see, like, sometimes I'm feeling really good. And I feel like all those moms that seem like maybe on the internet that they seem like they have it all together, I feel like there's probably something that's falling through the cracks, because when I have one thing like really good and on point, it feels like other things are falling apart. So when you see like the coolest play activities out on our social media or on the blog, then my house is probably a disaster. It's like I balance it.
Just like everyone else. I don't believe for a second anyone has got it completely together either. Seriously, yeah. I mean, we all have our good and bad moments. I think we just need to admit that we do not need to be perfect moms. We do not need to have the perfect home. We just need to be good moms, loving our kids and doing the best we can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Valerie, what is the one thing that you wish someone told you before you had kids?
It's funny because working with kids, people, I've been around a lot of people that were pregnant and having kids and parents, and they, told me a million things. I felt like I knew like so much about being pregnant and having kids and young kids. And then I had Ruby, and I was reading like everything that I had that was on the internet, every blog I was reading and trying to figure out the best sleep schedule and the best way to do baby-led weaning and the best way. And I just felt like so overwhelmed, and so like there's so many conflicting pieces of advice out there. And what I finally realized was that you need to just stop at some point, and you just need to follow your own instincts and go with the path of least resistance. Like, try not to make things more complicated for yourself just because you feel like that's the way everyone is supposed to do it, or that's the way you've read it, that's the best way to do it. I don't think that there is a best way to do it. I think that you really need to just know yourself and your kids and your family, and you just need to just trust those instincts and just just take it one step at a time and do what makes most sense. And that's not going to cause you to lose sleep or to, get too big of a headache. Just go with the path of least resistance. And it worked out for me when I just let go of things.
I completely agree. I mean, there's no perfect way. You just do it your way, whatever works for you, go for it. I mean, if all the experts tell you never put your toddler in your bed and you don't get any sleep unless you put your toddler in your bed, put your toddler in your bed. I mean,
exactly.
We all do what we have to do. All right, Valerie, thank you so much for sharing all your valuable tips with us today. We're looking forward to learn more from you. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been awesome.
Thank you for watching the video showing you how to use play-based learning to raise kids who love to learn, and use Valerie's 3 easy tips to implement it into your daily routine. Remember to develop independent play capacity from a very young age. Start using toy rotation to improve their engagement, and stick to simple play ideas. Leave a comment and let us know how play-based learning is helping you to raise smarter kids. I'm Esti Alessandrini from healthyfamilyandme.com. Join us soon for the next Good Mom interview, helping you raise happy and healthy kids.